home dining like you're dining at one of those 5-star restaurants with things like the Wagyu steak, that Kobe steak that you see on the menu that is only there at certain times a year and typically has the market price on it, which means run. This is 10 of the 6-ounce Wagyu Kobe style sirloin steaks from America's Butcher, Roy Rastelli. And Rastelli Meats, they get their meats from small local farms that are in the area and that he's worked with for years. Rastelli's is also the only supplier to the only 7-star restaurant in the world. And once again, when you think about the best when it comes to beef, chicken, and fish, you think of Rastelli's. It's our Customer Choice Award winner in many categories. This is the offer, and look how beautiful and tender and juicy these big old steaks look. These are 6 ounces each of the Wagyu Kobe style sirloin steaks, and you get them home for 5 payments of $40 per month with free standard shipping and handling. Let me just welcome in from the very beginning Ray Rastelli so he can go into what makes this a delicious and different steak. Sirloin is a really specific cut of steak, but when it is the Wagyu Kobe, that makes it a whole different animal. Is that correct, Ray?
Jane, you are so right. It is the very best of the best. So here's how limited this is. Think about it. There are 30 million beef cattle here in this United States. There are less than 5,000 Wagyu cattle, and they're all farmers I am working with right here from the Ohio Valley. Now, this is what I want you to notice. This is what makes it Wagyu. First of all, it's antibiotic-free. It's got no added growth hormones. But if you look at the marbling here, this marbling is what I call meat candy. Now, we completely trim this. We age this for 45 days, but this is what I want you to see. Every steak, now it's going to look just like a filet mignon because every steak has been completely trimmed. But I want you to see the inside of this steak.
Right.
You see that? That's not fat.
Ooh,
that's what we call marbling.
Flavor.
When you get that kind of marbling and that kind of flavor inside of this, everyone is going to be incredibly tender. Now, you rarely even see these on steakhouse menus. They're usually a special. Right. And Jane, they usually sell it by the ounce. So 10 of these is something that's really, really special. And I will tell you that it's for us. We don't bring them often because we can't get that many.
Well, and can I tell you something? As a matter of fact, Ray, to your point, we don't have many of these. As a matter of fact, there's only about 400 available because we don't have them. They don't exist, so you can't find them. And again, because it is the sirloin, it's one of the easiest steaks to prepare. When we get these home, they're going to come to us frozen, individually wrapped, so we can take out as many or as little as we want. And then, Ray, what is your preferred way of preparing these?
So I prepare these just like I do a filet mignon. And the reason I do that is because they're so incredibly rich and tender. Now, they're nice and thick. Look at this steak. So here's how I prepare. You're going to get the seasoning packet with it. So I take the seasoning and I put that seasoning right on top of the steak while it's actually getting to room temperature before I put it in my skillet. I get my skillet really hot and I sear one side of it for a minute. I flip it over and sear the other side for a minute, and then I take that frying pan and I stick that skillet and put it right in the oven.
That's what I do,
350 degrees for about 5 minutes. And what you get is what you see right there. This steak is really exceptional. Trust me when I say tender. When my knife can glide through this like butter, and that's what it is. That marbling you see inside there, Jane, it's like butter. That's what it tastes like.
That's that tenderness, that juiciness. That's where the flavor of the meat is. You don't need the seasoning, but of course, when you add it, it really does enhance it. I mean, this is the steak that can be center of the plate. This is the steak that you can create wonderful things like this amazing flatbread that we have here with just some arugula. Add your tomatoes and maybe a little balsamic drizzle on top. Look at that. That looks like something that you would find at that 5-star restaurant.
Oh, absolutely.
And then,
of
course,
pay the 5-star price.
For every single day when you decide that you want to eat a nice steak, then you have it and you can do it so quickly and so easily. So it is all about and we talk about this with Ray all the time, where you get your meat from, the way that it's aged, the way that it's prepared and frozen, and the way that it comes to you. So you get the ultimate experience, but you're dining elegantly at home. M76333. There is no auto delivery on this because, like Ray said, there's a rarity to this beef, pun intended.
And it really is true. That's why you never see it on menus, because there's so few of these cattle. But just look at the steak itself.
Yeah.
What you're going to see in the moisture is the marbling, right? We want something that's going to melt in your mouth, but also have incredible flavor. And I always talk about the sirloin being one of the most flavorful, but it's not always the one that's really the most tender, like a filet mignon. But this Wagyu sirloin, if you've never eaten a Wagyu steak before, have to try this. You may never go back to another kind of steak after this, but look at the moisture that's in it. That's not fat. What that is, all that internal marbling, and look how beautiful that steak is. And what I love about it, Jane, it's easy. It even makes me look like a good chef when I put this on the skillet and
How
pull it out.
could you
The
not
family
look
loves
like
it.
a good chef with this,
Look at
right,
that.
Rachel?
Yeah.
So
Final 300 of these, by the way. So not a ton of them, like we said. Go ahead and place your order for this. No auto delivery, M76333. Now, Ray, it's Tuesday, so is Ray the Third and Brittany hosting on QVC2 at 6 p.m.?
No, they do theirs on Tuesdays, so it'll be on, oh, is today Tuesday?
It is
No, I'm not,
Tuesday.
I think it is, yes. I'm not sure if
Is it
they're on
Tu-
this evening or not.
Oh, okay.
It
All
is
right.
Tuesday, yes,
It is,
yes.
well, we'll check anyway.
Yeah, we'll check.
Okay.
It's Tuesday. It's a 222 day. So
Yes.
listen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was good to see you.
Nice to see you, Ray.
Thank you so much.
know
Thanks,
what?
Rach. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we had that sirloin paired with the shrimp scampi that we had a little bit earlier, which was beautiful. Oh, and there is that shrimp